Hey, FantasySportFans.com. How are you doing out there today? Corey, how are you doing, sir?
I'm great, Seth. How are you?
I am just fine. Why, thank you for asking, sir.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Wow. Okay, so check this out. We have covered a few great topics on this site. Lately we've been doing running backs, quarterbacks, but I think just to add to this trio, I think we need to cover probably the other spot that everyone doesn't know what to do sometimes because there's such a huge selection, but there's only the few elite, and that's what we're going to cover today. The few elite wide receivers, our top 5.
All right, Seth. Number 1, and I don't even think you're going to debate this. I don't think anybody can debate this.
How can you?
Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson. He's an animal. 1,900 yards last year. He didn't have as many touchdowns. They kind of took away. They double teamed him in the red zone, so he's kind of lacking that. But if they can just get another receiver opposite him, he will be a complete animal this year. Can I just go without saying here? I'm going to go with this. Calvin Johnson. Should I say the first player not to be cursed with a Madden curse?
Yeah, that is true.
Should I say that? I think I'm going to say
it's
that.
something like that.
I'm on the record with that.
Most of them get hurt.
There we go. Well, moving on. Number 2.
Number 2, I've got Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall.
Him and Jay Cutler.
Okay.
You can't beat that duo. They're best friends. They get it done.
Okay, well, you know what? I tell you what. That's cool. You want to be stuck in 2012? I'm moving to 2013.
Who are you going?
Number 2. And people, listen to this as close as you can. Put your ear up to that speaker because I don't want you missing this. Dez Bryant. Give me Dez Bryant.
At number 2?
This guy is an animal. He has finally came to his point where he is now that elite receiver. He found his spot. They say third year for people who are in that wide receiver spot, who are just supposed to be amazing receivers. That third year is always supposed to be that key year. Guess what? Third year, he turned out to be an animal. If I'm not mistaken, I think he got you into the playoffs.
He did get me into the playoffs.
That's what I thought.
And I'm a little biased towards Dez Bryant. I am a little biased, but I have Dez as number 3. I'm still going to put him behind Brandon Marshall. Dez is just a little more injury prone than Brandon Marshall is, so I'm going to take the safer pick on that one.
See, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to go Brandon Marshall, number 3. That's where I've got him at. Brandon Marshall, obviously, he's a top targeted receiver. You can't miss that by any means. He certainly doesn't. But regardless, Jay Cutler, his BFF, definitely right there. I'm going number 3, Brandon Marshall for sure. Number 4, though.
Number 4, A.J. Green.
Ooh,
A.J. Green.
A.J. Green, what a reason. Oh, that guy's an animal.
1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. You cannot go wrong with picking A.J. Green.
Yeah, I'm going to say A.J. Green's great, but I'm going to go even deeper because, once again, I'm not stuck in 2012. I'm moving to 2013. And
I'm stuck on good players, and these are good players.
I'm going to give you that, but I'm just saying 2013, breakout year for this guy. He finally has someone who loves him, who adores him, who sees him for the wide receiver he truly is. Can I get Michael Crabtree in that number 4 spot?
Michael Crabtree.
Just look at when Kaepernick took over. Kaepernick completely changed his fantasy value. I'm saying Crabtree is going down as an amazing wide receiver for 2013.
Does Anquan Bolden hurt or help his status?
It helps him to the fullest. To the fullest.
That way he doesn't get double teamed.
Exactly.
Because he's going to take away some looks from Crabtree.
He's going to take away some looks, but ultimately when you really look at it, though, think about it. Who are you going to double cover? Are you going to double Anquan Bolden and Michael Crabtree and Vernon Davis? No, I don't think you are. I think you're still going to keep people on Vernon Davis. You're still going to try and keep man-to-man coverage on Anquan Bolden and, of course, Crabtree. But regardless, in the end, Crabtree gets the job done. This guy, he's younger than Anquan Bolden. Anquan Bolden's going to be there strictly, I believe, in a leadership veteran role. and he's only
That's what
getting
they
older.
thought. That's what they thought last year, and look at what Bolden did in the playoffs, though. He
Well,
was
yeah, he took
insane.
over that veteran position, whenever the playoffs came. But, if you look out through the entire season, Bolden was a good wide receiver, but let's just face it, he wasn't a number one.
Yeah.
Okay, then. So, when I'm looking at Crabtree and when I'm looking at top wide receivers, I'm looking at who's the number one guy, who's going to get that ball every single game, that's going to get the touchdowns. And I'm sorry, but I got Michael Crabtree in my number 4 spot because he will get that ball. He will get those touchdowns. Kaepernick adores him, and that's why I say that.
All right, number 5, Seth. Who do you have?
A.J. Green. How can you go wrong?
AJ Green.
A.J. Green's amazing.
You're going to leave Julio Jones out of the mix? Julio Jones with Matty Ice, one of your top quarterbacks.
Hey.
And you're going to leave his top receiver out of your top 5?
Hey, what can I say here? What can I say? Even though I don't put Romo in a top 5 QB selection, I still believe Dez Bryant is still a top 5 wide receiver. So, yes, Julio Jones is an amazing wide receiver, but let's just face it, this guy, 2012 was pretty much a great wide receiver on the road. I want to make sure in 2013 the guy can come and catch the ball and score touchdowns on the road and at home.
This is his 3rd year, so if we're going according to most wide receivers, this should be his breakout year.
A complete, and the crazy part is this guy has already had a phenomenal career. He's played 2 years in the league, and he's had a great career.
The first one was kind of injury-ridden, but he still was good. He was good enough to know that he's going to be amazing.
Of course, and, just like Dez Bryant, just like I just talked about, it was his 3rd year. He found his strengths, he found his weaknesses, and let's just face it, he made those strides, and that 3rd year just proved everything to be right. What I'm saying here, he was phenomenal. He found his stride right there in that field, and let's just face it, he burned how many people during the season? Dez Bryant is an amazing, and I do believe.
He averaged, 2 touchdowns a game pretty much towards the end of the season?
And Julio Jones
as long
this
as
year,
that carries over, then...
Exactly, and Julio Jones can be that guy. He can be that legit, number 1 wide receiver, and he pretty much almost already is. It's just Roddy White is there, and that takes away looks from him. And both of them are still getting the ball, but let's just face it, one was doing good at home, one was doing good on the road.
Towards the end, it kind of changed a little bit. The last few games, it was a little different. Julio Jones caught some balls at home.
Yeah, I just need more consistency on both sides. I need more consistency, on both sides of the ball. I need consistency on the road, and I need consistency at home. Give me that, and I tell you what, I'll put the guy in my top 5.
All right, there we have it. Top 5 wide receivers.
Hey, Seth here with FantasySportFans.com. Hey, be sure to enter your name and your email on our website to get instant access to our free beginner's guide of fantasy football. By subscribing, you will get free Fantasy Sport Fans updates, tips, and Fantasy Sport Fan news with no spam.